Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my channel Cooking with Karima, where I try to help you take the guesswork out of what to cook for dinner. Today we are doing a turkey meatloaf with spinach and cheese, and I'm also going to do a quick side of Brussels sprouts, and I'm also going to teach you how to make your box mashed potatoes taste like you spent all day cooking them. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell to know when I upload new content and new meals. So here's a quick overview of the things you're going to need today. Don't worry, I'm also going to link this down below in the descriptions for all of your ingredients and your measurements. So let's jump right in. So I took some Texas toast and I crumbled it up. I used about 3 slices, but I did have to go back and add an extra slice because I'd had too much milk left over. So you're going to break up your bread, and then you're going to add a cup of milk to your mixture, and you're just going to smash that up just like that to just kind of make sure all of the bread is moist, and you're going to set that to the side. All right, next you're going to grab you a bowl to get ready to put your meat mixture together. I used 2 packs of 2-pound ground turkey, and I believe I just got this from Aldi's. It was about $5 a piece. So I'm just going to throw my ground turkey into this bowl, and I'm just kind of break it up. Try not to over massage your ground turkey. It is not as coarse or thick as your ground beef. So here you're just going to want to chop up your onions. You want to make sure they're really, really fine. You're going to throw in your garlic powder. You're also going to add in some onion powder. And I used about a capful of each. And you're also going to want to throw in kosher salt. So then I'm going to add in the onions that I've chopped up. I'm just going to throw those in the bowl on top of the rest of the seasonings. I did use frozen spinach. Most of the times I like to use fresh spinach, but I just didn't want to spend a lot of time chopping up my spinach this time. So I bought frozen spinach, and so you're going to make sure that you drain out your spinach really, really well. They suggest using a cheesecloth. I don't even know what a cheesecloth is, nor do I know where to find it in the grocery store. So I just use a strainer and I squeeze out the water with my. You could also use a paper towel. Make sure it's a really good brand of paper towels, and put your spinach in between it and squeeze the water out that way. I did have to go back and add in my chicken bouillon, which I forgot to add in when I was adding in all the rest of my seasonings. So don't be like me and forget your chicken bouillon. Now we're ready to grate our cheese. I got this cheese from Aldi's. Again, I absolutely love Aldi's cheese section. They have a great variety of different types of cheeses. So I'm going to grate this whole entire block. I'm going to put some into the meatloaf, and then I'm going to put the rest of it on top of the meatloaf. Egg time. We're going to add 4 eggs to our meatloaf mixture. 1 egg for every pound of meat that you have, and you definitely got to have your eggs because that is what's going to hold this sucker together. If you don't have those eggs, you are not going to have a loaf of anything. It's going to be more like scrambled something. I don't know, but it won't be meatloaf. Anyway, now that you have everything together in your bowl, we're just going to use our hands, and we are going to mix this sucker together. Yes, use your hands. I have my loaf pan that I'm going to line with some foil because, honey, we don't like to wash dishes around here, and this foil helps to keep the dishes clean, but it also helps to hold all of the flavor and the juices that are going to bake out of this meatloaf in the bottom of that pan, so you could literally flip it over and pour that juice back on top, make it all juicy and such. While the meatloaf is in the oven, I'm going to work on our side items. So we are having Brussels sprouts with some sauteed onions and some mushrooms. So here I have my mushrooms, and I'm just going to chop these up real quick. I just used 1 container from the local produce section. Please make sure you wash your mushrooms off. They are some dirty little things. And I have my skillet. Y'all don't laugh at my skillet with all the seasoning that's been cooked on it. I'm going to add some olive oil, chop up some onions, and I'm going to put that in the pan and let that sizzle. Y'all hear that sizzle? And we're going to let them just sit and caramelize. The key to caramelization of your onions and your mushrooms is to not do anything to that pan. Just throw those vegetables in there and just let them cook. I'm going to add in some nothing but bagel seasoning, which I believe I also got from Aldi. Y'all, that seasoning is called everything but bagel, not nothing but bagel. So everything but bagel seasoning. While that is in the skillet cooking and sauteing and simmering, we're going to slice up our Brussels sprouts. You're just literally just going to cut them in half. Now that looks like that's almost done. So we're going to take it out of the skillet and put it in a bowl to the side, and we are just going to throw in our Brussels sprouts. We're going to use some more of the everything bagel seasoning, and we're also going to use some of this Lowry seasoning. Just going to season up our Brussels sprouts, let them cook for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to throw back in our mushrooms and our onion mixture. Stir that up, let that cook until the Brussels sprouts are literally to your preferred tenderness. I like mine with a little bit of crunch to it, so I'm going to let those cook maybe about additional 5 to 7. Ooh, they so pretty, y'all. Look at that, nice and green. All right, don't forget about that meatloaf that's in the oven that's been cooking about 45 minutes. Now it's time to take it out and add a little extra spice to it. So we are going to smother it with some pesto sauce and the remaining of your white cheddar shredded cheese. And we're going to pop that back in the oven for an additional 10 minutes. Make sure that the cheese is all melted and it turns a little brown on the corners. And that way we know that our meatloaf is ready to eat. All right, time for these good old Idaho mashed potatoes. Y'all, I ain't have time to chop up potatoes and boil them and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to use some box mashed potatoes tonight, and we are going to throw in a few little tricks to make them taste like you did. We boil them and peel them, directions and all on the box. Things. The only addition I made to those directions, instead of boiling them in water, we are going to use some chicken broth just to give it a little bit more flavor. I'm going to throw in the good old onion powder, some more garlic powder, and I also like to throw just the juice off of the minced garlic. We're also going to add in just a little bit of sour cream, tablespoon of sour cream, or you can add in cream cheese, add in some Italian seasoning, Parmesan cheese, and voila, you have box mashed potatoes that taste like they were homemade. Ding, 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 ding. Y'all, that's the oven going off. That meatloaf is ready. Ooh, y'all, look at that. Oh, that cheese, that melted cheese on top. Yes, and here you go. Turkey meatloaf with spinach and cheese with a side of Brussels sprouts and some mashed potatoes. Y'all enjoy.